Today, let's take a look back at all of the Halo games and pick out one thing, the best thing that each of these games has added. Now, this could be a sandbox piece like a weapon or vehicle, a game mode that you really enjoyed, something from the campaign or the story, anything really, something about each game that you think was the best addition. I'm going to give you my thoughts and the thoughts of a few friends that I reached out to. I think the best thing that CE added for me was just the simple idea of the Covenant, a conglomerate alien faction with different species fulfilling different roles, the elites, the jackals, the grunts, the hunters. It really opened up this enemy variety and set a really good foundation for the wider Halo universe going forward.
Halo CE. This one's tough because it laid the foundation for everything, but I've got to go with the music. Marty O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore, they struck gold here. It's not my top Halo soundtrack, but it gave us the iconic themes and sounds that still echo through the series today.
First and foremost, Halo CE. Easiest thing that I could pick out here, the death pose. Master Chief caked up.
Piggybacking off of CE for me a bit, I've got the Arbiter, the character of the Arbiter in Halo 2. This was genius as it let you step into the boots of the Covenant and see their perspective for the first time. I kind of thought about having the Prophets be this, but I do think the Arbiter is better because it's also used as a vehicle for the character, letting you play as an elite and play from that Covenant POV. Just as a bit of a side note, I do also think Halo 2 had the best story of any Halo campaigns.
Halo 2, the Arbiter. He gave us a deep dive into the Covenant, making them more than just cannon fodder. Suddenly, they're complex antagonists with a hierarchy, politics, and relatable existential crises.
Halo 2, probably gotta say the soundtrack. Breaking Benjamin, especially when that slaps on, oh my gosh, I am erect.
Halo 3, this one is hands down Forge. It is so obvious to me, it is the objectively correct opinion. Adding a map editor to Halo was a stroke of genius, and I know Nikos has a lot to say about Forge, so I'll let him take it away for a bit.
Hey guys, it's Nikos, and the hands down best feature added to Halo has got to be Forge. This little map editor, which wasn't meant to be much at first, had completely revolutionized the game and the community. Starting in Halo 3, the Forge editor had completely revolutionized the community. It not only extended the life of the game by creating potentially infinite modes and map combinations, but you also had people sharing screenshots and art of their crazy builds. Some would build giant statues, some folks would just make memes out of it. There was just endless potential for the community through Forge, even in its limited state in Halo 3, when back then you could place 3 barrels and a battle rifle, and by then your map budget was pretty much full.
Halo 3, there's a lot of different things I can possibly say about Halo 3, but the one thing that stands out to me, especially with the amount of time that I played with it, Infection. Infection with Halo 3 was astounding. Loved it. It was like the thing that I'd play the most.
Halo 3, I'm stuck between Forge and Theater. Both are absolute game changers that I don't think any mainline Halo game is complete without.
ODST, I don't have a ton of amazing things to say about ODST, it just wasn't one of my favorite games. But I think the elephant in the room is here. It's obvious what the best thing it added is, and that's Firefight. A horde mode, it was almost a given for the Halo franchise. Yeah, it's just, bread and butter. It did it, and it did it well.
Halo ODST, a little bit of a change of pace. You're not a Spartan anymore, but, I loved the atmosphere that was going on. It was a very dark tone, very somber, and, I vibed with it. It gave me a sense of, I'm immortal. Not immortal, but I am amortal.
ODST has got to be Firefight. Enough said.
Halo Reach was my personal favorite Halo game for most of my life, but that might be a bit of nostalgia talking, but this really was my Halo game. For me, the best thing Halo Reach added, and there was so many amazing things that it did, but the best thing was the Invasion game mode. I can't believe that this game mode has never made a return into Halo because it is just so fantastic. Pitting elites against Spartans, a Covenant against humans, having this progressive match where as the objectives get further and further, you get access to better weapons, better vehicles, and just a match just escalates. Invasion was so fun.
Halo Reach. With the addition of Forge World and all sorts of new tools, the fanbase went absolutely mental, making huge maps, small maps, mini-games, griffball arenas, you name it. And the thing is, Bungie also did the same. In the matchmaking, you had developer-made Forge maps in Invasion and Big Team Battle. This got even better with the Master Chief Collection when it got to PC, because now you have an even more upgraded Forge thanks to 343's additions to Halo Reach's Forge world and the extended budget and the new pieces that were added to the sandbox.
Reach is probably, honestly, one of my favorite games. The more I think about it, the more I want to put Reach as my number one. And I know a lot of Halo 3 fanboys are going to get on me about that, but Halo Reach, really fire game. And, you know, it's the last of the Bungie era, and there's a lot of good things that you could say about it. The Forge mode, flipping that grid is like one of the classic things that you could do, but I gotta say, motherfucking forklift. I love the forklift. Yeah, baby, let's go forklift. Yeah.
Reach is another hard one to pick, but I love its menus. They're clean, functional, easy to navigate, everything is laid out where it should be, unlike modern menus that are chock full of oversized streaming service-like icons that take forever to scroll through. In Reach, you can check your service records, ranks, people's Spartans, everything, and it's all within the convenience of vertical drop-down menus.
Halo 4 was one of the real stinkers for me. I struggle to find things good about Halo 4, I really do. But I think the best thing that they added was a vehicle, the Mantis. I think the Mantis is super fun, super cool. I loved it in Halo 4, I loved it in Halo 5, and man, if we got one of these puppies in Halo Infinite, that would be fantastic. The only vehicle I would want more than a Mantis in Infinite is a Falcon. But the Mantis is right up there, one of my favorite vehicles in Halo. This thing rocks.
But anyways, Halo 4 and 5, you know, they're meh games in my eyes, but Halo 4, I liked the Spartan Ops. Extra missions are always cool in my eyes, although they don't really hit the same as campaign does. I liked the idea of Spartan Ops at least.
Halo 4 might be a bit of a hot take, but the progression system, specifically commendations. You had armor unlocks for leveling up, but also extra skins and stances for hitting weapon milestones. It rewarded both casuals and dedicated players, and I think that's a win-win.
Halo 5, going back to Forge, it made a lot of amazing improvements to Forge. It was tough between this and the custom game browser, because the custom game browser was like revolutionary as well. But I do think that prefabs in Forge just edged it out for me a little bit. The ability to group objects together, save them as a group of things, and then spawn them in, just made map editing so much better. Add on to this things like vehicle welding. Even in Infinite, this is the one thing that's like a real step down in Infinite's Forge, is we lost the ability to meaningfully do vehicle welding. And some of these old vehicle welds in Halo 5 were just so goofy and fun.
Halo 5. Do I have to do Halo 5? Do I? Okay, here, apparently I do. The custom games browser. I think it's a great feature. It's something that should be present in every Halo game going forward, along with Forge, in my opinion.
And then with Halo 5, I loved the art style. That's a hot take, but I do love the art style. I think it was really cool looking. Overall, I liked the aesthetics. Except for the elites. Fuck the elites, they look terrible.
And finally, Halo Infinite. Again, I'm going back to Forge. I'm a Forger myself, so maybe I'm biased, but I do think that the tool of Forge and the way that it's been progressing and getting better has consistently been one of the best things about these Halo games. And Infinite's Forge and its current iteration, cream of the crop. With enemy AI allowing you to make your own campaign missions or your own mini games, all sorts of possibilities with the most advanced scripting we've ever seen, coupled with having AI in Forge. If you want Invasion, you can make Invasion. If you want a campaign DLC, you can make a campaign DLC.
And Infinite, bots, I guess. I think they're a perfect way to warm up or test your custom Forge maps, and they don't trash talk you for playing like shit, which is always a bonus.
The thing that is interesting about Infinite is how the player base begged for the Forge mode so long, and when it was finally added, even though it was kind of buggy, it kind of revived the game a little. It wasn't a substantial increase. I do believe the Forge came too late to Infinite, but this was the best Forge editor of all time. Aside from some bugs and some annoying glitches, you had unlimited potential, including scaling objects, and my personal favorite addition was the campaign AI, which I'd been waiting for in Forge forever. I personally think Infinite's best feature is Forge, alongside the custom-made campaign maps. That had been something I'd been waiting for a long time, and it's so great to see it was added. So yeah, undisputedly, Forge is the best mode, and I remember sometimes whenever I'd have like spare time on a weekend as a kid, I would just launch a Forge map and just build. It was just super relaxing. It was almost therapeutic, just chilling in a map alone and just stacking crates. You know, and I think that's something that's missing in a lot of modern games is a casual editor-based experience that allows you to just express yourself without all the competitive esports and all the competitive gameplay, ranked, none of that. Just something you could kick back in and just experience.